Welcome back everybody. Today we're going to be working on my Lancer again, and this time we're going to be doing a horsepower mod. We're putting an Injen ram air intake system, replacing my old factory airbox. Now this is something I've been wanting to do for a very long time, but with money and insurance and other payments and other maintenance things on this car, I've never been able to put a horsepower mod on for about a year now, which is pretty crazy to say. The first one I did was my Axleback Gretty exhaust, and to be honest, I didn't really see a big speed difference. It definitely made a sound difference, and I really like the sound, even though it's basically a lawnmower. I really do like how it sounds. And even more recently, it started to pop, which could be a bad thing. I don't really know yet, but it sounds cool going down the street, so that's all I care about. Now, the thing is, I get gapped by everything. There's about 3 cars that I can name on my finger that I beat. So I figured if we throw an Injen air intake into it, maybe that'll change, but who knows? Now obviously this is the first car that I've worked on by myself, where it's, my responsibility, and if something breaks, it's on me. I've never put an intake system in before, so this is going to be a first for me, and if it's a first for you, I hope that you guys can tag along and watch how to do this a little bit, and hopefully not make as many mistakes as I'm about to make. Also, another thing to mention is the scenery change. Not really. My dad's 69 Nova is sitting in here, and we're doing some suspension components on it, so we're definitely going to be seeing a few videos with that, maybe, possibly. I'd really love to show it on the track, but we don't know when we're going to get it out there. But yeah, this is taking up this spot, so I had my dad move his truck so we can work in here. Plus, my car is small, so it can fit just about anywhere. All right, let's get this thing started. Okay, so I definitely wanted to change a few things with this video that I didn't do in the last. I really didn't show what I was doing too much with these headlights, so I kind of want to explain the process of putting this in case any of you guys want to follow in my footsteps and buy a Lancer GT. I don't recommend it. Buy something with a turbo. But right now what we're doing is we're going to be taking this hose right here off. Basically going to be loosening this part up here so we can just kind of get some of this excess stuff out. Definitely gonna be taking the airbox out. I really don't know about this. That is one thing that I do have a few questions on, and I'm probably gonna research it. And if you're doing this too, with any car really, just make sure that you're doing your research a lot, because something like that could be very important. But I don't know, so let's find out together. Okay, so I got one piece of the airbox out, but these little things right here are definitely a pain when you're trying to take the rest out. As you can see, it's free. This we'll get to later. Right now I just want to get the airbox out. And if you don't have, I don't even know what they're called, but basically it just scoops in and it gets it out. That's what I really need here. I think I'm able to. I'm trying to use a flathead to get these out, so yeah, definitely get the right tools. I'm gonna find a tool to get that out, and then I'll be right back. One of these things. I really don't know what they're called. So yeah, basically I used them already and I got them out, as you can tell, but one fell down there. So yeah, if I hear some sort of scratching sound or some sort of rattling, I know what it is. I'm kidding. That's definitely not how you want to do this. Old air filter's out, part of the airbox is out, and putting my tools up there. I brought my, my handy dandy grip mat, so I just gotta get them set up. Anyway, and there's the rest of the airbox. That's pretty exciting. So yeah, now I'm gonna figure out how to get this hose out, and how to put this intake system in. I'm also gonna see if I can rearrange a few things around here to make it kind of easier to get to in case something goes wrong. I'm not planning on it. I don't think anybody really does, but I just want to make sure that it's easier to get in here when I need to. But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna figure out this tube situation and then I'll explain how I got it off. See you guys then. That was way easier than I thought it was gonna be. Just slid right off. I didn't see this right here. It was actually hidden right under there, so I didn't see it at first. Slid right off, this slid right off. It just took a little bit of brute force. One thing that I have learned though, just watching a few intake videos and other things like that, get a rag. Not just for your hands. You're gonna need it to plug up that throttle body just so you don't get anything in it and get into your engine and inevitably have engine failure. So that's perfect. Until you're ready to put the intake system in, which I think I'm ready now. So let's get to it. Okay, so a few things to look at while you're doing this. First of all, look at the instructions. I didn't do that and I realized that I need a few components that actually came in the box. Yeah, just didn't line up. So make sure if you're confused to check the instructions. I know that's not the car guy way to go, but yeah, here they are. Here are the instructions. Looks like a damn comic book. Yeah, but that's pretty cool. I was trying to show you guys. This will go on here like that, and then the intake system itself. I like calling this a system when it's really just a tube. It goes in right here, and it's gonna sit basically like that. Basically like this, with a little bit of movement. And once I get the intake system kind of in place to where I feel comfortable with it, then I'll kind of show you, how I got it there. All right, let's get back to it. Alright guys, just a quick little update. I got the hose and hose clamp on the throttle body, and I don't know, I just love the details. I love how it says Injen on the hose. And then I also have the, what they call this, an extension bracket, I guess, to hold the intake in. I'm definitely gonna have to rearrange that to make it sit right with the rest of the intake. But so far so good. I haven't had a complication yet. Obviously, I just jinked myself there. But yeah, I think we're gonna be good. Other than that, I'm gonna replace the batteries in this GoPro. Let the other batteries charge. Not that you guys need to know that, but that's just what I'm gonna be doing. And then after that, we're gonna be throwing the rest of the intake in. Let's go. Alright guys, so I got a few more things done that I just want to show you guys. Obviously we got the hose and hose clamp, and then we got a, what'd they call it? A vibra mount. So I'm assuming what it does is it just controls vibrations and makes sure that nothing flies out of place. But yeah, I put that on this kind of extension here. And then we're gonna be doing the actual intake portion. So I'm gonna sit you guys right here, just getting some positioning right. Okay, so as you can see, we have where the extension's gonna be. I'm assuming we have the O2 sensor goes. And then, yeah, like I was saying, we have the hose part, or the hose end, and then we have the intake end right here. So what we're gonna be doing is I need my flathead. So let's take this clamp off here. Would you look at that? Huh? It smells like oil. You're the good kind though. That felt like Christmas. It's almost Christmas too. A few days away. So yeah, Merry Christmas everybody. So we got intakes going on about here. I think we just, there we go. It's on. That simple. At least that's what the directions are saying. Yeah, just slides right on there. I didn't think this through. Okay. Hose clamp on. And then put the airplanes on. That's, yeah, that worked way better. Okay. So thinking about future me, it's gonna be sitting in like this, right? So I want it to be easily accessible for when, or if I ever need to take this off. Okay, get it right in there. Let's tighten this bad boy up. You know, the thing about having a Lancer GT and not an Evo is it's definitely a learning experience building it. No, you get an Evo and there's forums and, you know, websites and YouTube videos all about building an Evo, but there's rarely any videos or forums about fully building a GT, which, you know, it's a pain at times, but other times it's just really cool to learn on your own, kind of figure out what works and what doesn't. Alright, sorry about that. So what I was saying was, you know, the GTs, they're definitely a lesser known kind of model. Oh, and by the way, I got it on. We're gonna test fit it here soon. Anyway, it's kind of like a lesser known model. No one really buys them just because of the reputation of the Evo. So yeah, there's not really a you know, big following for these things, but I've heard from a few people who've had them before that they can be very fast and very cool. Personally, I love my car the way it is. I love the way it looks. I love the way it sits. I love the way it drives. Some people may want an Evo, some people may want the turbo with all-wheel drive. I definitely do, but it's not within my budget. So this is what I got. You know, it was a birthday present, and you know, it's a manual. It's got the Lancer reputation of being like, it's not an Evo. And when I pull up to meet, still, you know, I have that feeling in my chest of, you know, oh, no one's gonna like it because it's not an Evo. I still get compliments on it all the time. Whether or not they know it's an Evo or not is, you know, up to question. But, you know, I love the car. It's definitely reliable. If you're looking for a reliable daily to build, this is definitely what to go for. But yeah, what else can I say? Let's finish this thing up. Okay, so what we're gonna be doing right now is we're gonna be taking our brand new Injen intake system, and we're gonna be test fitting it and trying to get it kind of flush with everything it needs to be flush with. So as you can see, there's a little bit of play still, but it's in. It's in. That is what I like to see. So looking at some of the pictures from the instructions, the MAF sensor goes up here and the vacuum line goes right in here. And this is an adapter for the stock, where'd I put it? The stock hose. This is the stock hose that went down into the throttle body, kind of like this. We saw it earlier. This was the vacuum line, and it's a gaping hole, right? That is not supposed to be there for this intake. Will that throw a code? I don't quite know yet. So if you're doing this, definitely watch to the end of the video to find out. If you do need to erase a code or whatever, I do not have any sort of code readers here, so I'll be driving with an engine light for a little, I guess. It doesn't really matter to me, but if you guys are, you know, concerned about that, that's definitely something to stay tuned for. But yeah, so we're taking the adapter out from the vacuum line and hopefully seeing it fit through there. If not, we're gonna have to do some readjusting, which, you know, I was expecting. This is also gonna have to, the extension is also gonna have to move a bit, or maybe the intake itself is gonna have to move. But other than that, things are going pretty smoothly. So yeah, I'm gonna fit this in there and then I'll be right back. All right, we're into a little problem. The battery placement is interfering with where the intake's gonna go. The transmission in this car is not its original one. We put a new one in after second and third gear went out in it. The car was at 122,000 miles when this happened. So if it's running on its stock transmission with no services that I know of, that could be it. But I really don't know. But we replaced the transmission entirely, and we definitely had to move around some of the components in here, and some of it may not have sat original. So yeah, this battery may have just been a byproduct of that transmission job. So if you do have a Lancer GT and you're doing this at home, don't really worry about this, especially if you haven't messed with anything before. Just kind of send it, and if this happens, then it happens. All right, I'll be back when I do that. Okay, after a little bit of technical difficulties with both the camera and the car, we are finally to a point where I'm going to explain literally everything I've done in the past 30 minutes. For some reason, the settings on my GoPro went to photos instead of video. Don't ask me why. But basically what happened was we put this in. You're actually not that far behind. So we put it in, put the hose clamps on, ran it through, figured the battery situation. We have a few millimeters of space there. You set this up, the vibra mount is on, this is all secure. Now, the problem is it's still a little shaky, which I'm not too comfortable with, but whatever happens, happens. Battery secured, intake itself is secured, and I was showing you guys how to take the MAF sensor out of your old airbox. I'm basically gonna do a reenactment here. So basically your MAF sensor is gonna be sitting something like this, and you're gonna take an Allen key and you're gonna unscrew these, and voila, it comes out. That is essentially what 5 minutes was of me trying to record, but obviously that didn't happen. So basically this is a MAF sensor, mass airflow sensor. It's basically in charge of making sure the right amount of air goes into your engine, very precisely in fact. So this is a very crucial part, a very crucial organ in your engine's life. It should slide right in like so, with a little bit of fuss, I guess. We're gonna leave that there for right now. I was saying before I realized that we were only taking pictures, the bolts, the stock bolts that came holding your MAF sensor in were very large in comparison here. If we look, those are very, very different in size. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you do not lose these. Probably should have said that earlier, but whatever. You guys are definitely more responsible than I am, I bet. So yeah, this might be, no, it's not the wrong way. This plugs in, your MAF sensor plugs in like so. I'll have to, push it down and make sure that it actually fits in there. And then we're gonna tackle the vacuum line. I'm gonna figure out the MAF sensor first, and then I'll get back to you. Alright guys, so I lied. The original bolts holding in the MAF sensor weren't Allen keys. I don't really know what they were. They were more of a hexagon shape. My dad was a mechanic back in the day, and he has just about everything you could ever need to work on any car. So I found something that worked, but they didn't work for the aftermarket bolts. These are Allen bolts. This is an Allen key set. I don't really know the names for any of this. I'm learning just like you guys are. Feel free to give some constructive criticism in the comments on what these are all called, so next time I do something like this, I can call it by its full name and its correct name. Anyway, MAF sensor is in. That is what I like to see. The vacuum hose is the next thing that we need to conquer. That adapter is not coming off with a little bit of force. It may be something where I just gotta rip it off like I did everything else really. We're gonna find out. I'm just gonna mess with it a little bit. If I need to get a new hose, I need to get a new hose. Not that big of a deal, but I'm just gonna mess with it, set the time lapse up, and then I'll get back when I have it set up. All right, guys, so did a little bit of off-camera testing and everything. I got my dad in here. He looked at that vacuum line. Like I said, he's really good with cars. He was a mechanic before. Obviously, he's building a 69 Nova, so he definitely knows what he's doing. We got the vacuum line on, so this hose with the pictures and what we were doing, it's gonna work for now. Everything else is in place. It looks good. It was fairly simple, just like the headlights were. I've been on a lucky streak picking very easily installed parts. So yeah, we're gonna check on it a little bit more, test it a little bit more, and yeah, I think after sitting through this, you guys deserve a cinematic. So here we go. Before the cinematic goes, I just want to make a quick video concluding the intake system. Obviously, I'm not in the garage or in my car at the moment, but there was a few things that I didn't touch on and a few things that I'll say later on in this video that don't make any sense. So first I want to say that the kind of intake system that we had originally, the stock one, there was kind of a tube that led air into the original air box, and I've seen people leave them on. The instructions had it left on. You don't need it. You really don't. It's just if you want some bonus air. I really don't mind it. So yeah, I didn't put that back in, and it ran just fine. The vacuum line worked just fine. The MAF sensor, perfect fit all around. If you follow the instructions, you will definitely have no problem. Battery was moved pretty swiftly. Everything fits perfect. So yeah, there's nothing really bad to say about Injen at all. It was a perfect system to upgrade. And yeah, one last thing I want to touch on before we do the cinematic was what I'm about to say. I'm an idiot. I'm 17 years old and I'm just putting an intake on my car. So I heard a few sounds. You'll see the video later on after the cinematic. Yeah, I thought they were bad sounds. They're good sounds. They're race car sounds. That's what we like to hear. So yeah, just disregard all the stupid stuff I was saying. And if you hear the same noises, just know it's good. Everything's fine. Don't listen to me. I was just having fun, being a little paranoid. You know, it's my daily driver. I don't want to mess it up. But yeah, other than that, I'm calling it a night. Enjoy the rest of the video.
Cadence.
Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that cinematic. We are going out to test it. Did a few revs and my god did it sound good. So I'm very excited to see how it performs, and by perform I definitely don't mean speed. Just gonna take a quick lap and it feels different. Ooh, there's a rattling sound. Hear that?
It's supposed to sound like that.
I don't know. We'll find out. So yeah, especially when you guys are doing stuff like this, taking your car and putting things on it. Yeah, I see him. There was a sheriff in that driveway. You definitely want to take it for a test drive around your neighborhood. That's supposed to, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it sounds like a loud ass car. Pardon my French, that's what it sounds like. I don't know if it's supposed to sound like that.
Yeah.
make some cool noises. Yeah, so I'm gonna turn the camera off here and we're just gonna drive like I normally would, and we're gonna see if it's actually supposed to be doing that or not. So I guess it's a great time to end the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Obviously stay tuned if you guys want to see more Lancer content. I'm always down to buy more parts for more content, so if you guys want it, I'll do it. But yeah, like I said, thank you guys so much. The support on the last video was crazy, and the support on the TikToks and everything, they're always just nuts. So yeah, make sure to follow our Instagram, follow our TikTok, all that stuff, and we'll see you later.